Between Amaya and Brian setting a putter, Ace and Shelley closing off, Nick and Alandria finally having their first kiss outside of a challenge since they've been in a couple. I mean, what more could a girl ask for? What more could a girl ask for? Hey y'all, it's Chloe and we're back with another video. Love Island USA Season 7, Episode 33. And you guys, before I get into this review, because y'all know I'm so excited because I have a soft spot for Shelley and Ace so bad, so bad. Okay, so you know they was pulling on my love strings today. But before we get into that, I want to address some of the things that I've been seeing on the internet as far as like the hate that Shelley and Alandria are getting. And I just want to let you know, I do not agree with any of it at all. If the girls got into an argument, they got over it, and they moved on. The amount of hate that I'm seeing from brands, from people thinking that it's okay to disrespect them like that is ridiculous. And I do not stand by it at all, okay? I just want to make that clear. You guys can have your favorites all you want, but the way y'all are carrying on this internet is crazy. Crazy. Okay? Like, I know that it's not my personal audience, but I know every now and then we do get a new person here and there and there and there and there. So I want to just make sure that I make it very clear that we don't subscribe to hate on this channel. We don't bully people. We may not always disagree, and that is perfectly fine. We may have our favorites that may not be somebody else's favorites, and that's perfectly fine. But we will be respectful. I try my best to be as respectful and unbiased in my reviews, and I expect the same thing in return. So I'm just making sure that my house right here is clean, okay? But now that we got the housekeeping out the way, if this is your first time here, sit back, watch the video on through, and if you like what you see and you like what you hear, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before and you keep coming back, I feel like I'm your cup of tea, so go ahead and drink it, okay? Hit that subscribe button. If you're one of my lovely members or subscribers, hey y'all, how y'all doing? I'm feeling really good. I'm ready to get into this review, so let's go ahead and do it. So as we know, Taylor and Clark have left the villa. I don't want to hear y'all sitting around moping, crying, and all that things about Clark and Taylor. They had to go, okay? The couples have to go. In order for us to pick a winner, sad to see them go, but they'll be okay. I promise you they will. Now, Nick and Alandria are sitting down talking because, you know, Taylor just left. He wants to know how does she feel about Taylor leaving. She took this long pause like, do I really want to say what I want to say? Because it felt like she wanted to say, like, I don't give a F about that ninja. She said, in a sense, she kind of feels a little sad, but nonetheless, she's just so happy that he found his one. So at the end, he ultimately won. That's what I said, right? Now, Nick said that he feels like he lost his best friend tonight, but he found love, and that's all that matters. No, Nick, you lost your closet. You lost your closet. What I have learned with you this episode is the fact that you came here unprepared, and this is why you've been walking around in Taylor's clothes, and now you're going to miss him because you're going to miss his wardrobe. Okay? So then Nick says it feels nice to be supported by America because they weren't in the bottom. So that means that, you know, there's some people behind them. If only Alandria and Nick knew how strong the Nick-Alandrians is, oh baby, they would be in there living their best life. They wouldn't have nothing to worry about at all if they knew how strong y'all was coming and going up for them. It's crazy the way y'all pulling for Nick and Alandria, okay? Now, Ace is going through it, y'all, because that's his bestie. They came in here basically together, and he thought that they was going to take this all the way to the end, so it's really getting to him. He's telling Shelley, like, this just doesn't feel real. Shelley's like, yeah, I'm going to miss him, but I'm just so happy that he found love. That's ultimately what everyone's saying. Like, we going to miss having him around, but, like, he came here to find love. He found love. He left with his love. He'll be all right. He not dead. We'll see him later, right? But either way, she tells him that, you know, go ahead and cry. It's okay. You can cry. I'll even cry with you. I really enjoy watching Shelley and Ace. I've had people tell me, oh my God, how could you like them? Oh my God, I can't rock with you. And I'm just like, you can't deny that Ace and Shelley really have something. I don't care what nobody say. You cannot deny that they really have something. So Ace tells Shelley that he thought that they were going to be in the bottom because he felt like America wasn't really feeling them like that. And Shelley said she was nervous as well. But hearing that their names weren't in the bottom reassured her with how she was feeling about Ace. Because she feels like when she was getting opposed about him being voted least to be the best boyfriend and stuff like that, it made her think like, is America seeing something that I'm not seeing? Do I need to question this man that I'm in this relationship with and I'm really liking? But now she says that she feels a little bit more secure in this relationship and a little bit more reassured because obviously it has to be something there that we did not vote them out. Let me just be straight up with you, Shelley. The people who wanted to vote you out ain't nothing but the daggone people who support Huda. And it's crazy to me because we done seen Huda and Shelley make up, hug, be friends, and everything ever since then. And for some strange reason, y'all feel like it's necessary to tear down another woman, a black woman at that, for what? I just need y'all to make it make sense because it's really starting to piss me off the amount of hate that Shelley is getting for doing absolutely nothing. All right, the girls got into a little argument. Move on and get over it. Let's move on. So Shelley tells Ace, like, listen, it doesn't matter what anyone says about us. I would still choose you no matter what. And I love that. Like, it don't matter what nobody say. If it's you for me, it's you for me. If we got to go home, then we got to go home together. Love that. Now, Huda's crying to Chris because Taylor's gone, and that was like her best friend in the house. He really looked out for her, and she's going to miss him, okay? But we can't dwell on that for too long because we got to finish this conversation that we was having earlier, okay? She tells him that she did not walk off. She ended the conversation, and she got up and walked away. Huda, girl, you walked off from that man. You walked off from that man. It just is what it is. Stop trying to make things what it's not. You do this all the time when you go back and relate stories. Now you're going to try to gaslight that man to believing that you didn't walk off when you clearly walked off. She said that she just didn't want to continue to talk in circles. So she lets him know, listen, kissing in the covers and kissing in the like speakeasy and stuff like that is more private, it's more intimate. It's not because she's embarrassed by him. It has nothing to do with him. It's really just the steps that she's taking because she moved too fast with Jeremiah and she doesn't want to do that again. No, Huda, let me tell you what you're doing. You don't want it to look like you're doing that again. But you are most definitely doing that again because you slept with this man. Okay? If you really wanted to do something different, you would have closed off from giving him sex, really get to know him, build that chemistry, build that bond, start, with the kisses, first base, second base, third base. But you want to do all the things and not have anybody know that you're doing it so that it can look different. And that's crazy. That's crazy. At this point, there's no reason to be sneaking around or nothing. You're sleeping in the bed with this man and having sex with him in the same room with multiple people. They know that y'all doing something. This is not a secret. And it doesn't help that both of y'all having conversations with multiple people about it in a house. We already know what's going on for real, okay? He lets her know, like, listen, I understand. So she's like, I just want to hear your thoughts on it. And he was like, I don't really have no thoughts. I don't have nothing to say. So she was like, so are you checked out? And he says, low-key, kinda, yeah. I'm just tired of having this conversation. And then you walked away from me earlier, which was kind of disrespectful. So then she's like, well, if it's something that you don't want to pursue anymore, okay, then I'll just leave. And I'm just sitting here like, what is really happening, Huda? This really bothered me because he expressed a concern that he was having and she flipped it and made it all about her. She got mad at him for feeling some type of way about the way that he feels she treats him. That's not fair at all. Because how did this now become about you? Why are you using this manipulative tactic that I'll just leave you alone, then I'll just leave you alone? Even Chris had to sit up like, bro, just chill out. Like, it's not even that serious. We just having a conversation. I just don't want to continue to keep having the same conversation over and over and over again. It's not even that deep. Obviously, I'm still here. I like you. She's like, but you don't have any thoughts. You don't have any thoughts. And he's like, because what do you want me to say? I understand. I understand where you're coming from. I get it. But I'm still confused. I'm still confused. So then she gets up and she walks away. And now he's sitting here like, yo, like her priorities are effed up. Because like she want to have sex, but she don't want to kiss me. She want to have sex, but she don't want to kiss me. And I'm like, yeah, that sound crazy. That y'all cannot tell me that Huda like that man for real. She don't like that man for real. She don't. I'm sorry. As much as it may look cute, them together when they make up and stuff like that, she don't want him. And I'm not even gonna hold you. The way she sat there was ready to just, you want me to leave you alone then? You want me to stop having sex with you then? The way she's ready to just do that all the time is because she really don't want to be there for real. She don't. So now she's talking to Brian, talking about how she just don't want to get her feelings hurt anymore. She been through a lot in this house, and I understand that. I don't want y'all to think that I don't understand what Huda went through in this house, right? But her and Jeremiah and their relationship wasn't the issue. It was the way she was behaving over Jeremiah, okay? It was the simple fact that when new bombshells came in the house, she began to get really possessive. It's the fact that she would get upset during the challenges if somebody was kissing each other. It was the way she behaved. It's the crash outs that she had, the name calling that she did. It had nothing, absolutely nothing to do with the fact that her and Jeremiah were actually good together. Okay. And I also feel like that's a sad excuse at this point because you guys are having sex in the room with multiple people. Not only are you having sex in a room with multiple people, you are also at the point where it is time to close off. Everybody is in one couple. Nobody is exploring anymore. Everybody is settled in. If any time would be the right time, this would be the time to show your love and affection or appreciation in life for the person you are in a couple with. Why? Because not only does America need to see it in order for us to go ahead and vote for you, we need to actually believe it. And by you wanting to keep things in the private and by you wanting to keep things hidden, it's not showing that you feel comfortable in this relationship either. Right? So now Chris is talking to Ace and, he's telling him like how she doesn't want to kiss him. It's not making sense to him at all. It's kind of coming off as a red flag. And Ace tells him, look, just try to meet her in the middle somewhere because she's been through a lot, but you guys can work through it if you both want it. I think that's funny, Ace, because you one of the people who put her through a lot. Crazy work. Maybe not so much Ace put her through a lot because Ace was gunning for Jeremiah. Nick put her through a lot, okay? Because that man took every opportunity he could to vote her out, any chance he could. But nonetheless, at this point, everybody already know that y'all in the house arguing about PDA. So if you really wanted to give that man some PDA, you could have just gave that man some PDA by now. But let's move on. I'm glad that Amaya did tell Huda when they was getting ready for bed, like, just think about it like this. How would you feel if you was with a guy and he would kiss you all up in the bed, have sex with you all up in the bed, but as soon as we got in public, all of a sudden he don't want to kiss you no more. All of a sudden he don't want to touch you no more. How would you feel? Very effed up. You would feel like, oh, he's hiding me. He's embarrassed by me. He don't really like me for real, because that's what I'm picking up on. I feel like Huda uses her eyes and her body to control the situation just so that it can go the way she wants it for the moment. But let's move on. Now, Pepe and Iris are still surprised that they here. I am too, because I honestly thought that they were going to be the ones that go home instead of Taylor and Clark. But somehow, some way, they pulled through the rankings. I'm just curious on how long they gonna make it. Y'all think they gonna make it to the top 4? Y'all think they're gonna make it to the top 4? We shall see. Nonetheless, it's the next day. Everybody's getting their breakfast, stuff like that. So it's the next day. Pepe, you a chiropractor too? Child, I said Pepe really be doing it all for real, for real. Because Pepe was over there, cracking Iris' back. I said, Iris, girl, you better keep that man. He played all the instruments. He got the basketball. And he can crack your back both ways. Girl, keep him. Anyway, Ace, why would you tell Shelley that, you hope nobody steal her chain? Like, sir, what? What do you be thinking about when you say these things? We got to watch you, because obviously you be thinking about stealing chains sometimes, okay? But nonetheless, Shelley and Ace are cute this morning. Iris and Pepe are cute this morning. So everyone's just laying around. Nick decides that he wants to pull Ace for a chat because, he just want to see what's going on now that Taylor's gone. Ace is missing Taylor. He has to bring the little beanbag over there like this is for Taylor. Then he's role playing like he is Taylor because he missed Taylor. And Nick is like, okay, Taylor's gone. Because Nick liked Taylor, but not really for real. Because now that Taylor's gone, he has full access to Alandria. So he liked Taylor, but he not mad at nothing that he gone. If you know what I mean. If Nick got over Sierra like this, oh, he got over Taylor like half of that, okay? But nonetheless, they sit down talking, and Nick is telling Ace that he knows that him and Alandria are more than friends, okay? He said there's a spark there that is just growing and growing and growing. You could just tell that Nick gets flustered when he starts to think about and talk about Alandria. It's actually really, really cute. It really is. I'm not gonna lie to you at all. So Nick asks Ace, after seeing, Taylor and Clark closed off, are you thinking about closing off? And Ace is like, I mean, I'm thinking about it, but like, being together in the real world is something totally different because sometimes people just switch up on you. He says that he likes Shelley a lot and he definitely wants to, like, continue to build this relationship with her, but he doesn't want to just close off with someone just to close off in the villa. He feels like if I'm going to close off with you, if I'm going to become exclusive with you, then this is something that I want to continue outside of the villa. And he's not going to really ask that until he's for sure, for sure. And I could respect that because the way Nick closed off with Sierra and then when she got kicked out the villa, he just moved on like they was never closed off is crazy. And then I feel like it's also a jinx at this point for this season of Love Island. Once you get like super closed in or locked in or exclusive or closed off, something happens to your relationship. Either one person gets dumped from the island, somebody gets snatched out the island, or a couple gets dumped. So it's not good at this point with the whole lockdown. It happened with TJ and Iris. It happened with Nick and Sierra. It happened with Clark and Taylor. But let me tell you something. It better not, and I repeat, it better not happen with Shelley and Ace at all, okay? So now Amaya's talking to Shelley and Alandria, and she's telling them that she really made the best decision that she could have. And like, it's not to put down anyone else, but baby, the man she got is her man, her man, her man. I'm so happy that Amaya got to go through this journey, even if it was at the expense of Hannah, because not only has she brought a light to the villa, a funness to the villa, she is just like a girl's girl, and I feel like she literally deserves everything that she's gonna get. The way she showed up in this episode just shows how much she cares about others. But nonetheless, let's move on. So Huda comes out because she wants to talk to Amaya, and she wants Amaya to kind of help her fix what's going on between her and Chris because she doesn't know what to do, right? So she's telling Amaya, like, listen, I just told Chris, like, I want to move slow. I want to do things different this time. But that's the confused part that he's having right now. Huda, like, how do you want to move slow, but you want to sleep with him? That's the confused part that he's having. They don't go together. They don't go together at all. Then she brought up the fact that, like, oh, I do touch him or I do sit on him sometimes, but he has to do more. And I'm like, now you're moving the goalposts. First it was you want to move slow because how everything went down between Jeremiah. And now it's, oh, he has to do more. I'm like, and then after he does more, what's the next thing? You can't convince me that Huda likes this man. Okay? You can't convince me that Huda likes this man at all. So then she tells Amaya that her love language is acts of service and words of affirmation, and he doesn't give her words of affirmation. And I'm just like, Huda just be making up stuff at this point. And then this is where I get confused because it's kind of like you want him to give, but you're not giving him anything in return. All the man asked for was like a peck on the lips. And you got him jumping through hoops and banners just to get a kiss outside in public. But you giving up the kitty cat every night in a room full of people? Like, Huda, it's not making sense. It's not making sense. I don't know. I just feel like, Huda, you need to set better boundaries and you need to set better expectations if you're going to be in a relationship, because there's no way you should be having sex with a man who does not give you words of affirmation and who you don't want to kiss in public. But you know what? That's you and not me. Now, Amaya said that just go ahead and communicate that to him. I said, girl, it don't make no sense. That man don't understand what she's saying because none of us do. None of us do. We get where she's coming from, but the actions don't match the words because we having sex, but we can't give a peck on the lips outside. Like, it don't add up. But that's enough about this. We moving on. So now they go have a challenge where they just get to slide down the poles, swerve around in some bubbles, kiss on each other, feel on each other, Love Island games type stuff, right? No need to really get into it. Wasn't no questions or anything like that. They had a good time. Everybody had a ball. Everybody looked like they had good chemistry. Yeah, it was giving all that Love Island gives. Y'all saw it. No need for me to explain it. So after the challenge, Nick is talking to H and he's telling him how he's just so happy that he got to kiss Alandria again, even if it was in a challenge, because they haven't kissed outside of a challenge yet, okay? Since the last time that they was in Soul Ties and they shared that nice, passionate kiss. But while he's talking to Ace, it seems like he wanted to like see if Alandria is open to like kissing outside of the challenge. But Nick is so flustered every time he talks about daggone Alandria, okay? He's sitting there, he's like, I don't know, she just gives me the flutters. She just gives me the flutters. And he said he feels like a teenager all over again. I said, not Alandria giving you the feeling that Clark gave Taylor. Not she got you all in your feels, got you acting all giddy or whatnot, and said, well, that's how you supposed to feel around your partner. I said, look at them. I don't know if Alandria is into Nick as much as Nick is into her, but he's definitely into her. He's definitely into her. But I'm not gonna lie, I still feel like it's more of a lust thing. I told y'all that before. And you know, the lines get a little blurred when it comes to lust and liking love, okay? But let's move on. So in the meantime, Alandria is talking to Shelley, and it sounds like she wants to, try this kiss again. Outside of the challenge, she really want to see what it's giving. She said that, he makes her feel giddy. And I'm just like, for Alandria to feel so giddy, she's so poised and she's just so like straightforward. Like, girl, where's the giddy at? Where's the blushing? Where's the, where's all of that? She wasn't giving me that giddy feel that I was looking for. But if that's what she say she feels, then baby, that's what she say she feel. Okay? She said that she's really ready to dive headfirst 100% into this relationship to really see if this is what, she wants, if it's something there. I encourage it. I feel like there's nothing wrong with exploring this connection that you and Nick may have. What do you have to lose? You have nothing to lose. Taylor's gone. Sierra's going. Go ahead, explore the connection and see if there's something there. If it is, good. If it's not, good. Either way, y'all know y'all explored and got down to the bottom of it regardless, all right? Now, Iris and Pepe are talking, and they're still going strong. It seems like they're really happy. Iris said that she really, really enjoys their physical connection. I'm sure you do, because you can't stop looking at him every single night. I'm sure you do, okay? She said she really enjoyed their conversations. They can talk for hours and hours and hours, and she just wants to cut in and give him kisses in the middle of the conversation. Girl, Iris love her a good kiss, a good sex session, a good time, don't she? Let me tell y'all something. So TJ was on live, right? And TJ was in the live talking about how, Pepe was his boy and it hurt his feelings that he didn't stand behind him, whatever the case may be. And then somebody put in the comments like, dang, Iris got cracked. So he was like, what? So he just found out that Pepe and Iris had sex, even though Pepe was his boy in the house and he didn't even save him. And it seemed like it was all a setup at this point, because Pepe went straight for Iris that night after TJ left. So let me know if y'all think Pepe was plotting on Iris the whole time, because that's the energy I'm getting from this. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna lie. That's the energy I'm getting for this, okay? So now Alandria and Nick are talking, and these two want to name them everything but what we named them. Y'all, Nick Alandria, okay? Talking about Freako Nico. No, stop making up your own names. We already did that, okay? They don't know it yet, but we already did that, because we're not going to call y'all Freako Nico. Nonetheless, Nick tells her how he didn't think that he was going to stay this long, so he didn't even really have that many clothes or anything like that. He like maybe 5 shirts. And I say, yeah, and now that Taylor's going, you ain't got no clothes for real. You really ain't got nothing, because I don't know if you could fit anything that Ace brought. You might be able to slide in something that Brian got, maybe, but like... Nick, what is you doing, baby? What is you doing? Nonetheless, she said, so you didn't plan? You just came out here and was like, oh, it is what it is? He's like, yeah, I didn't think I was going to be here that long. And so she was like, that would drive me nuts, okay? She says, I'm a planner. I'm not the go with the flow type of person. But she does say that she does wish she could be as carefree as him. And I'm sitting here like, if y'all got a shot at even considering being together, you can't be as carefree as him, because baby, y'all would never get anything done for real, okay? But anyway, as they're sitting there talking, she tells him that she does like him and she's attracted to him. And he says that she's his best girlfriend in the house and that he is just so happy with her. And I do believe that he is happy with her, okay? So he goes to like touch her hair and he's like, your hair looks really pretty, the 2 pieces like this. And you could tell that he wants to lean in for a kiss. He wants to like try to get that kiss. But Alandria didn't seem welcoming or inviting to it. I don't know if I think Alandria really likes Nick for real. I think a part of her knows that he's a good guy because he's been holding her down and having her back. They did have a nice kiss or whatever the case may be. But I still think she's reserved. And I don't know if it's because like how fast he was willing to move on from Sierra after seeing how he was with Sierra, or if she's not used to dating white men, so this could be something different for her. I don't know what it is, but something about Alandria kind of threw me off in that scene, because she didn't seem open or welcoming to the kiss that you could tell that he wanted to give her. But nonetheless, he went down and kissed her on her hands, and then they went in the photo booths. They snapped a couple pictures. They did a few poses, and the next thing you know, they shared that kiss that both of them wanted to try out I guess we'll have to find out tomorrow if the kiss was passionate or not. Okay. So Amaya is talking to Brian and she's telling him, like, I see that Chris and Huda are having some issues. I think we need to set them up to get them talking so, they can work this thing out because I would want somebody to do that for me. I really love how Brian is down with all the shenanigans that Amaya be coming up with. Okay. Because for me, it's a hell yeah. Hell yeah, he went right along with it. They set up everything so that they could get them on the dock. Okay, so now everybody's sitting at the table, and I guess Chris touched Huda, and she was like, "Don't touch me with your dirty ass hands. Like, don't do that." I'm like, she don't like him. If y'all buying this, y'all crazy. That girl don't like that man. Okay, she's like, and he knows I don't like that. He's an asshole. So Brian pulls Chris over to the dock, right? And then he leaves him like, oh, I gotta go get something. So once he does the little hand signal to Amaya goes to Huda like, oh, come with me. I need to talk to you on the dock. And Huda's like, wait, did I do something wrong? Oh my God, am I in trouble? Oh my God, did I do something wrong? And I'm like, yeah, I could understand. Homegirl is really paranoid because you could tell they've been pulling her to the side a lot up in that house. But that's what happens when you show your ass. When you show your ass, you get pulled aside a lot, Huda. Okay, it comes with part of the consequences for the way you behave earlier this season. Nonetheless, Amaya's like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll meet you at the dock. And she's like, oh no, I gotta go to the bathroom too to go wash my hands. Amaya's like, what the girl? So Amaya's like, you just go ahead to the dock. I gotta take a number 2, and I don't need nobody in the bathroom while I'm doing. And so she's like, oh, okay. So then she goes out to the dock and she sees Chris and Chris sees her. And she's like, what are you doing here? He's like, I'm waiting for Brian. What are you doing here? I'm waiting for Amaya. Oh, okay. And now they just standing there looking crazy while Amaya and Brian are up there staring at them like, come on, just talk, hiding. And she's like, they up there hiding, and they just start laughing or whatever. Really, really cute. Okay, I love how they set them up to talk. I love the happiness, the enjoyment, and the excitement that Amaya and Brian really want to see Huda and Chris happy. I love that. Okay, and this is why that's my girl Amaya Papaya, and she deserves all the things for real. Okay, so once Chris and Huda realize that they've been set up and that's going to force them to talk, they sit down and talk, and Chris tells her like, listen, I really just don't want to dwell on the issue anymore. I understand what you said, and no matter how many times you say it, I'm still not going to completely understand, but I can understand where you're coming from, and I'm going to move on. All right. So he tells her like, if it's anything that's bothering you, just let me know. So at this moment, she decides to tell him that she would like for him to acknowledge her a little bit more in the morning, and she likes attention and stuff like that, and she would like for him to give her more of it. And he says, okay, no problem, we'll do. And they make up. I don't feel like this is fair because all I hear is him giving, 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 giving. All that guy wants is a peck on the lips from you in public every now and then and again. And you can't give him that. It's very one-sided. But hey, if he's willing to take it, I can't, fight for him. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Now, they thank Amaya and Brian for making them talk. Really, really cute. Really, really funny. So now Ace and Shelley are outside talking, and he tells her that he's so glad that he got to have this experience with her. And if he had a chance to go back and do it all over again, he wouldn't change a thing. I said, Ace is so sweet. He really liking some Shelley. You can't tell me he don't. So we get a text message that the hideaway is now open, and they choose for Shelley and Ace to go to the hideaway. And Shelley said, I don't know if he ready, but he better go ahead and get ready. Period. Period. Go ahead and get ready, okay? Amaya's like, eat that kitty in the hideaway. I said, I know that's right. The girls, oh my God, they done got Shelley in this nice black lace looking good, okay? Ace comes out in just boxes. Tells her, all I need is my tool. All I need is my tool, nothing else. I'm just sitting here like, oh, I love this for them. I do. I love this for them. They go inside, they see the beautiful room, the jacuzzi, and he tells her to go change it to her, bathing suit or whatever. And he goes out and he puts a heart in the sand, A+C with another heart. Like, it's really, really cute. So she comes out, he shows her everything. And he pulls out the phone to read like a note or like a card to her. And it was absolutely beautiful. It really was like a full circle moment from the first time that they met, and then they like never really like hooked up anything after that, to being here on this reality TV show, falling in love in front of millions of people. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I teared up because y'all know I'm a sensitive gangster, okay? And it pulled on my heartstrings so bad. So bad. It was the most sweetest, beautifulest thing I've seen all season long. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Whew, yeah, that did it for me. That did it for me, y'all. And then after that, he asked her to be exclusive. I couldn't ask for a better ending. I really couldn't. And that was Love Island. Y'all, we are really 2 episodes away to the finale. So, who do y'all think is going home tomorrow? If it's Ace and Shelley, you won't see me. You will not see me, okay? Because this was too good for them to be going home. They have to make it to the finals. This was too good for them to be going home, right? Let me know who y'all think is going to be. With that being said, go ahead, like the videos, subscribe to the channel, get down in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.